Hi everyone, my name is Tori, this is Novel Life, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another KU TBR video, what's on my Kindle video, whatever you want to call it. I just want to talk about all the books that I have downloaded and borrowed from Kindle Unlimited. I do have my Kindle with me. I got new stickers put on. I got a Yeehaw sticker. Can you see it? Yeah, Yeehaw, and then Josh's redhead. I'm gonna use my phone because I think it's easier, but I have 16. Honestly, what I do is every single month, I did this just yesterday, and yesterday was the 2nd. I just go through all the books that I have currently borrowed from KU, and I clean up my library. So like if I downloaded and bought any books, I put them in the correct folder. If I'm reading anything for work, I put that in the correct folder and stuff like that. So basically, I return the books that I never got to, and it's been a month or two that I'm probably not going to physically read, or I got the audio for, because sometimes I'll download them in KU and then buy the audio for $7.50, so there's no point of actually keeping the ebook on my Kindle. That was a very long explanation of what's happening. Anyway, so some of these are going to be from the same KU video, the last one that I posted. There's only 2, but we'll just go ahead and dive into the oldest ones that I have downloaded, and I'll tell you why I downloaded them. So the first one is For the Fans by Niley K. I did talk about this one, I think, in a previous KU TBR video, and the reason I still kept this even though I hadn't read it is because I'm reading this for a Patreon exclusive reading vlog. I give my patrons 5 or 6 books to choose from every single month, and the top 2 most voted on books are the 2 that I read for a reading vlog for them. So I'm going to be reading For the Fans. That's my ebook. I do have another audio, but I don't have that. It's not a KU book. I'm excited about that. I think they're football players, and they obviously start like For the Fans, only fans type thing. That's what I think it is. I also still have oh my god, this title. Okay, Nocticadia, a dark academia gothic romance by Carrie Lake. I just heard really great things about this. A dark atmospheric tale of deadly secrets and forbidden love. I was going to return this, but if you guys watched my July wrap up, I read Manacled in July, and I love that. And so when I was like going through the summary for this book, it kind of reminded me of that. It's Dracadia University. You know, it also kind of gave me like Gothicana vibes, and I really like that book. So I just know this is a very dark book. So I'm trying to get books that are keeping me inspired, you know? And then I have the second book in a trilogy downloaded, which is You Said You Wouldn't by Brianna Jean. So I read Why Are You Here in July. Really love that. This is the continuation. I did start this. I'm like 4% in because I kind of 2% in technically, because I kind of needed to know like where the direction of this book was going to go, considering how the first one ended. And at the time, I wasn't mentally ready to continue on, because I do know that this book gets even more toxic in their relationship than the first book. And I don't think right now, even though it's like August 3rd when I'm filming this, I'm not ready to dive into that kind of stuff. But I do want to keep it on my radar because it's a series I don't want to just forget about. So I want to make sure it's on my Kindle Unlimited, or at least on my Kindle. Then I have That Sick Love by Jessie Hall. I'm going to read this soon. I have it on KU, but I think I bought the audiobook. You know what? No, I haven't bought the audiobook yet, because when I downloaded it, usually you can whisper sync it as soon as it's released, and it wasn't. So I have it, so when I go buy the audiobook, it's there. But I'm not gonna physically read that one, but I do have it downloaded in KU. You guys are gonna be surprised by this next one, okay? It is Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. Listen, it's 290 pages, so it's on the shorter side, which I'm glad I have some books on the shorter side. Apparently, a female character, Clementine or Emmy, has left her small town, went to college, made a name for herself, doing her favorite thing, riding horses. But when an injury results in an obstacle she can't overcome, she leaves behind a career and a boyfriend for the hometown she spent her whole life trying to escape. And Luke is the Meadowlarks. Oh, I guess that's the town's name. Most notorious bad boy bar owner and bachelor. He's the unofficial 5th member of the Ryder family, he spent his entire childhood antagonizing Emmy. But it's been years since he's seen his best friend's little sister. That seems really cute. I'm just very surprised by the cover, because it reminds me of like a children's book that like from the 1950s. I mean, they're kissing on the cover, but the style of art reminds me of like the 1950s kids covers of like this art style. So I've heard a lot of things about this book, but like none of my friends have actually read it. So I'm very interested in it. Now, a lot of these books now are new releases just at the end of July or the beginning of August that I recently downloaded that I definitely want to read. So the first one is Crossed by Emily McIntyre. I have all of the Never After series right here. Still right here? Yeah. I have all 4 books right there. I usually go physically get the book from Barnes & Noble. I just haven't made my way there, but I wanted to, I don't know, support Emily McIntyre because I couldn't get to Barnes & Noble on release day. So this is book 5, and I think this is the this is the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So I'm excited because I think it's like a priest and a woman. It reminds me kind of of a priest, so I'm extremely interested. But that's all I know. Now, this next one is one that I am kind of nervous about, and that's Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. So this is a teen, young adult kind of fantasy-esque. A lot of people have been reading this after Fourth Wing is one of my favorite books of this year. Loved that. Love the, chronic illness rep in there. Love the story. Love the enemies to lovers. That ending. Why do we end on a cliffhanger like that? So a lot of people have been starting to read this because it's enemies to lovers fantasy filled with hope and heartbreak and the unparalleled power of love. I was gonna buy the hardback because I thought, oh, pretty, I love this cover. Apparently it's not shipping for like over a month. I don't know what's going on, but I got it in Kindle Unlimited. Some people rated it pretty high, and some people I watch here on YouTube rated it okay. So I'm tired of reading okay books, but I'm willing to give it a try, at least start it, see if it's, my vibe gives me any type of grasp from the beginning, just willing to do that. The next book is Those Three Little Words by Megan Quinn. So this is actually week 1 of the Battle of the Trope read-along that I'm doing with 4 other friends here on BookTube, and this is the first week, so I'm filming this a week early, but I'm currently in the middle of this. I'm not going to give you my thoughts, so I'm interested to see how the rest of this book plays out, but this is just a hockey romance. He knocks up his best friend's little sister. She works for the hockey team. She's a social media person, so it's like it's surprise pregnancy, hockey romance, them trying to figure out their relationship, all of that. So that's all I'm going to say about that one, okay? The next one I have is one that may shock people because I've talked about this author, not a lot, but I've had thoughts about that. And that's Unravel Me by Becca Mack. So this is the 3rd book in the Playing for Keeps series. I read the first book, Consider Me, and I had a couple problems with it. It was that the characters acted younger than what they are. They acted like they were in their early 20s, even though they were basically 30, close to 30. In their conversations, what they talked about, what they did, stuff like that, and it kind of just irked me. Also, it was extremely long. It was over 500 pages for that book, and I'm like, this book did not need to be that long. So I think I ended up giving it 3.5 stars, which isn't a bad rating at all. It's just those 2 things definitely hindered my reading experience. Now, I've seen my friend Tabitha from Probably a Love Story over on Bookstagram. She read, I think, an arc of this, and she made kind of like a aesthetic reel of this book, and her reels, when she does the aesthetic ones and stuff, get me like that. Those will just get me to read a book. I think this is a single dad romance, hockey. Oh, he's a golden boy, notorious serial dater, the NHL's most eligible bachelor. Oh, she's a single mom. Oh, he's not a single dad. Okay. I am very, very excited. I'm pretty sure I do not have to read Play With Me, which is the 2nd book. I've heard you don't have to, so that's why I only have that one. But I'm interested in that one, so I got that one. The next one is actually about to read that I put in my August TBR, and that's Accidental Attachment by Max Monroe. I have not read a Max Monroe book, but I'm buddy reading this with Ava from Ava's Romance Books. I'm excited. She's a successful writer, and he's the talented editor. I just know that Book Bonanza people love Max Monroe and they go crazy for their books. So I'm extremely interested to see what it's all about, what makes their books something that everyone runs to pick up. So yeah, I'm excited to buddy read this with Avery sometime in August. We just have to get together and figure it out. A time to read that. The next one is a little novella from Juliet Cross. I really love Juliet Cross, and this is Secrets at Sunset. It's a forbidden romance novella. So the first book in the series is Bright Like Wildfire. Loved that book. I feel like that's a very underrated book by Juliet. So this one is Brother's Best Friend, Girlhood Crush, Forbidden, Netflix and Chill, small town romance. So it says, Reed Robichaud is not prepared for his best friend's little sister to show up on his porch wanting a secret favorite. It's just 113 pages, and because it was in that same series, I picked it up and downloaded it. This came out August 1st, August 2nd. I feel like it just recently came out. The next one is, if you've been around on my channel for a while, you know this author. I've talked about Genesis Fox, or Genesis. They changed their name to just Genesis for a while. This is the third book in the I Need You to Save Me series, or the I Need You series. The first two books were out when I read them and they destroyed me. It was very, very, very emotional, the first book, and then it time jumps in the second book. And this, I have to kind of refresh my mind because I feel like it's been like 2 years since I've read the second book. Pretty sure it's been a while. But the third book literally just came out and I cannot wait to dive into it. I remember it being very angsty. 2021. It was 2021. So it's literally been 2 years because that second book came out July 21st, 2021. So it's been almost exactly a little over 2 years since the second book came out. So I'm very excited that they finished that series. It's just a very angsty, I can't talk about anything in that book, but there were some secrets that came out. Enemies to lovers, hate to love. He rides a motorcycle, which I love. I think he's a hockey player or he's on a sports team if I'm not mistaken. So the next one, you guys are going to laugh at me. Zodiac Academy number 8, Sorrow and Starlight. I'm in a fantasy romance mood and I figured why not get caught up with another huge fantasy romance, because I think the last book is coming out soon, or the next book in this freaking series is coming out soon. Who knows? People are getting arcs of it, I think. So this one is 1,250 pages, and that's incredibly intimidating considering I read Manacled, and that took me like a week to read, and I was like dedicatedly reading that book. So I have it downloaded. We'll see if I get to it. The next book I have is Catching Lightning by Haley King and Greer Rivers. So this is a co-written book. This is another book for one of the weeks of the Battle of the Trope read-along that we're doing. I think this is week 4. And I just downloaded the 2 books that I can't get audios for. So I'm excited to read this one. This is Enemies to Lovers, a football romance. He's the star quarterback. So I love Greer Rivers' writing, so I'm excited to see how she co-writes it. The next book I have is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bottom Young. This is our cover-to-cover book club pick for August. Me and Sam decided to pick this one because it's a new release. 2, we both are excited to read it. We've been excited to read it, so I figured we could put it for our book club so we make sure we actually read it. It is a disability rep. He has a prosthetic leg, which I am a dumbass, and I literally did not even realize it was on the cover until my friend Kaylin posted the cover, and she kind of zoomed in on the bottom for a second, and I was like, he has a prosthetic leg, because I just thought that she had an underdeveloped limb, and that was the disability rep, but they both have a disability. She becomes pregnant, so it's a surprise pregnancy, which not my favorite, but I'm willing to give it a try. I've heard very, very good things, so I'm excited for that one. And the last one I have is The Fisherman Duet by Julie Ann, or I don't know what they're called. What is the 2 books? The Naked Fisherman, The Lost Fisherman. But I just have the bind up as one download on KU. I like this cover better than the other covers. But this is my Patreon exclusive read along that I do over there. I let them pick, I think I gave them 4 or 5 options, and they picked this option. So our live show is going to be around the middle of September. So you have time to still join, become a patron, read with us. I do a live show, not on StreamYard or anything, but I use Google Meet where we can all turn on your camera. You can use just your audio, or you can just type in the chat if you don't want to. So those who want to, actually talk, not just me waiting for people to chat. I really like doing that in my last read along. So it's kind of like a more conversational live show rather than just me talking and people in the chat. So I'm extremely excited, but also nervous for that duet. I've heard it's long, but I also heard it's angsty, and a lot of my friends really love it. So those are all the books that I have downloaded on Kindle Unlimited. You can tell me 1 or 2 books in the comments down below what you have downloaded on your Kindle. You have bought it, or if you have any books in Kindle Unlimited, drop them in the comments down below for me. Drop me a iPad emoji, e-reader emoji, whichever kind of emoji. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.